What do you think the Nazis are doing all the way out here anyway? Don't they... What the hell was that?
Character, there's always an introduction mission to see how the character ended up on the island. We also use that to introduce the player to some of the game mechanics. Here's a short montage of what you can expect. Please keep in mind that this voice acting is made by us and we're definitely no voice actors. Speaking of the missions, let me show you one of the missions we're currently working on. Stefan, our concept artist, David, our narrative designer, and I were in constant contact to figure out what we want to create here. After we made a lot of documents and level design sketches, we went to the concept phase of the map. So Stefan started working on some of the concepts so we get a better understanding of how the map should look like. We then started blocking out the mission and did a lot of internal testing to see if the mission was fun enough to bring it to the next step. When it was, we started dressing the map with final art assets. However, we later decided to add way more vegetation to the level to reduce the view distance, but I also have to admit that it looks way better with more vegetation. However, I always ensured that you could see the point of interest in the distance, in that case the radio tower, since this is where you need to go in that mission. We obviously worked on a lot of other stuff as well, but we will show you that at a later date, so let's get to the next topic. One of the things I'm most proud of is our workbench feature that you can find in the hideout. This is a place where you can upgrade your weapons and put attachments onto them. To build attachments, you first need to find the right blueprints to have the opportunity to craft an item. When you finally find a blueprint that you want, you then need to find the correct building materials to craft it. Projekt Z offers a huge variety of attachments, and you might ask, how is that possible if it's a World War II game? One project on the island was responsible for finding a way to reuse some of the unfinished parts of certain weapons to put them on as many German guns as possible, to not fear a shortage of weapons during the last days of the war. The same almost applies to all the not German weapons, but with the small difference that those weapons were captured and the Germans tried to study them and tried to make changes to make them better.
Projekt Z, Beyond Order, is an upcoming first-person co-op survival shooter set in a World War II zombie scenario. Developed by German studio 314 Arts and published by Maximum Entertainment. With its unique blend of atmospheric horror and base-building mechanics, it aims to stand out in the crowded zombie shooter genre. The narrative unfolds on a Nazi-controlled secret island where the Projekt Z experiment seeks to weaponize zombies to shift the war's outcome. Players explore this sinister plot while battling the undead and uncovering secrets. Players can choose from a group of survivors, each equipped with unique skills and abilities. The gameplay emphasizes cooperation, with roles tailored for different strategies in combat and survival. Central to the experience is the customizable hideout, where players can craft weapons, ammunition, and consumables. Inspired by systems like Fallout 4's settlement mechanics, the hideout also allows for structural upgrades and serves as the launching point for missions. The game offers a mix of narrative-focused missions and open-ended exploration. Choices made during missions influence subsequent events, adding replayability and depth. Beyond combat, players will engage in solving puzzles and gathering resources to support their survival efforts. The game blends dark, atmospheric visuals with tense combat, reminiscent of titles like Zombie Army 4 and Call of Duty Zombies. However, Projekt Z's emphasis on unique mechanics, such as the hideout system and mission progression, aims to distinguish it from these contemporaries. 314 Arts is actively involving its community through platforms like Discord and newsletters, allowing players to stay updated on development and contribute feedback. This collaborative approach aims to refine the game based on player insights. Projekt Z, Beyond Order is shaping up to be a promising addition to the survival shooter genre, combining a unique narrative, deep mechanics, and cooperative gameplay. The game will be released in Q2 2025 on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and Series S. Now you can enjoy the screenshots without any interruption. Enjoy!